All right, Speed Gaming 2. Hello, good evening. My name is Kip, and joining me today on commentary for our qualifier number 4 for the Dash tournament is the one and only Tracy M. Tracy, how are you?
Really excited. We have our last race. 4 more people qualifying today. Could be the runners that we're seeing right here on stream. Could be somebody else. I don't know. But one last chance for all these runners.
That's right. So we're really excited to get started. We're going to get this moving here in just a second. As soon as the looks like we're going to be rolling here in just a moment. So yeah, let's briefly talk for a moment, just in case people have missed it. This is the qualifier number 4 and the final qualifier for the one-day Super Metroid Dash Randomizer Cash Tournament, January the 18th. In every qualifier, the top 4 finishers qualify for one of the spots. We're only going to have 16 spots in that tournament. Obviously, once you qualify, you can continue to race in the qualifiers, but you won't take up any more of the spaces in the tournament. So far, we've had 12 people qualify. I'll read that list off here shortly. In the meantime, Tracy, why don't you tell us a little bit about Dash? Just give us a quick overview of some of the changes that people will see today.
Okay, so the Dash Randomizer is based on the logic from the 2017 tournament that Total created. So majors swapped with majors, minors with minors, majors including E-tanks and reserve tanks. What we've changed here is a few modifications. So the first modification is every runner has started off with what Kip likes to call a starter charge beam. That means they have charge beam. It's only 30% damage of what you would normally have of a charge beam. So it's actually weaker than the regular beam. The other changes we have, Spazer will break speed blocks in 2 locations, in the waterway spot and on the way to Batum. So there's an additional way to get those items, or additional way to get through Meridia. The speed booster locked item in the wrecked ship can now be gotten with regular bombs, and only regular bombs, not power bombs, not the Spazer either. And finally, my favorite change is the gravity suit. The suit changes are a little bit different. So they both do 50% in terms of enemy damage and environmental damage. The difference would be heat damage, because of course Varia protects completely against heat, but the gravity suit, which in vanilla protects completely against heat, and in most randomizers doesn't protect at all against heat, we split the difference here, and it's going to be 50% against heat if you have the gravity suit only. So making a lower Norfair a more a better option than in a normal randomizer if you just have gravity suit. And we've seen several people do that in some of these races.
That's right. In fact, the first race we saw, the first qualifier, I think there was only one person out of like almost 20 people that raced that even got the various suit in that one. But let's walk through real quick the people who've.
Yeah, go for it. I don't have that list in front of me. The 4 runners on our screen right now have not qualified. We have CanadianOwl on the upper left, Rossu on the upper right, Hero 82 on the lower right, and polarbearbunny on the lower left. Owl, Rossu, and Hero all made the playoffs in the league randomizer league. Hero went out in the first round, CanadianOwl in the second round. Rossu still has to play his quarterfinal matches. In fact, we'll play those Monday night. And polarbearbunny certainly held her own in the league. I don't remember what her record was, but she did well.
Yeah, who's Rossu playing?
I don't know if I've heard of that guy.
Whoever he is, he's probably pretty decent. But anyway, let's talk about the top 12 people who have qualified so far. And this is their current seed in the tournament. And we're seeding by their best race time. So you can do all 4 qualifiers, and whatever your best time is the one that we'll use for your seeding. We got Sloters 27 in the number 1 seed. Number 2 seed, Fruit Bat Salad. Number 3 seed, Maniacal 42. Number 4 seed, Zost. Number 5 seed, Astor. Number 6 seed, Toasty. Number 7, Richman 3mm. Number 8, Woody. Number 9, Aussie 101. Number 10, Pizza 34. Number 11, Zeb 316. And number 12, Cross Product. And but these guys could be reseeded at the end of this race depending on what they run. A lot of these people are currently running in this race. You just don't see them on the stream. We're only restreaming people who have not currently qualified. So to kind of put a little quick period on everything Tracy went over, I will say this: it will become more apparent as you watch more races. But one thing the Dash Randomizer is sort of aiming to do is allow more diversity in terms of what you can do to create seeds, or excuse me, to complete seeds. And because of that, the strategies that people come up with from a macro perspective, how much they're willing to collect, how many places they want to check, becomes way more complicated and complex. And you'll often see a lot of people doing really different things than you would in, more traditional randomizers. So we're real curious to see how it's going to play out, and we obviously think it's going to be a while before there's an official meta, but we'll see how it goes.
Well, and a few interesting things that have happened while we were talking. So Hero82 decided to go the so-called meme route instead of going up the climb, going to the left past the morph ball. We do see a grapple beam. I think that was at Bomb Trees, though. Of course, the danger of going meme route is if we see Speed Booster on the way for the other runners, Hero is going to orphan that waterway location and not be able to check it until much later. Or, I guess, in this case, if we see Spazer.
Yeah, that's right. One of the, we made the change to Spazer. I kind of thought about it when I was putting a lot of these ideas together. Is so many people will skip Spazer, or will, especially if they have plasma, there's no reason to get it. And so instead of adding more, damage or something like that, I wanted to give it utility. So that's why we allowed it to get through certain parts of the game. But the cool part to me is if people use it to get past Botwoon, they still technically have to lose some time, because they'll have to collect a lot more ammo to get through the Zebs if they don't have ice or speed booster for a Zeb skip. So there's a lot, to think about when you're putting these runs together.
Yeah. Another thing we see here, Rossu managed to get an extra power bomb pack at 230 missiles, I believe, and is checking Gauntlet. Unfortunately, just gets a reserve tank for his trouble.
Yeah, last race in qualifier 3, the Gauntlet item was actually high jump boots, and Astor collected it early, but then unfortunately died right after trying to get out. This time, Rossu is not rewarded, so bit of a gamble. He's going to be a good bit behind, and that reserve isn't going to help him to catch up, but maybe he can kind of catch up later on some other decisions.
Yeah, and that earlier race with Astor, that was much more difficult for him. He was doing Gauntlet with bombs and no E-tanks, so much more dangerous play than what Rossu had to do here with an E-tank and 10 power bombs.
That's correct. I'm not good at doing Gauntlet anyway, like with only bombs. Usually if I only have bombs, I don't check it, but not because I don't think it'll be a good item, mostly just because I'm afraid I'm going to die.
Yeah, it's well, especially with it, unless you have like a good amount of suits or and a good amount of E-tanks, it's not a safe check at all.
Yeah, I also want to point out real quick, I need to give a shout out to Dimensive on tracking today. Thank you very much for being willing to track for this event. We had to scramble earlier today. Actually, Rumble did some co-commentary with me, but he also tracked along the way, because tracking is very difficult with 4 people on the screen.
Yeah, tracking is definitely not. Having those trackers behind the scenes is absolutely crucial. It's not an easy task at all.
They earn every bit of that paycheck, let me tell you.
Yes, they do. And I'll also point out, Rossu did go back and get the E-tank at Terminator, so that's a common thing to skip.
So I'm curious, Tracy, if you're in Hero's position, you've done the meme route, you've got all your items, you're pretty healthy, you got plenty of ammo, but didn't really get a movement item, only got plasma. What do you think you should do here? Would you attempt a CWJ, or would you just go ahead and head to Red Tower and then go down?
Realistically, it depends on just how comfortable I am with the CWJ, but if I'm planning on doing meme route, I'm doing it with the express intent of going to wreck ship early. Typically, that is the better route if you're going to wreck ship early. But yeah, no movement items is going to make it tough. He will have to CWJ. We're going to see grapple beam, so he's actually going to almost certainly go to wreck ship, assuming he doesn't forget bomb Turizo.
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot that they had grapple. My fault. Yeah. In theory, for me personally, let's imagine that grapple wasn't there. Even though I would prefer to go to wreck ship, in this case, I might just go ahead and just eat the time and head down Red Tower, just because, it's never a bad thing to adjust your strategy.
Not at all.
Sometimes, if the only way you had to go over is the CWJ, you don't want to get stuck there. You know what I mean?
No,
So,
absolutely not.
I mean, everybody's capable. That's the thing. We all know everybody's capable of doing it, right? But it's like, do you want to do it in a race? You know, it's really easy to just be off, have an off day and lose a minute or two.
But yeah, with that grapple beam, it will be interesting to see the decisions of our other 3 runners. Probably going to check X-ray first at least, but lots of E-tanks, so it's a pretty safe Fantoon fight. Grapple beam to get across. We'll see if any of them decide to go to wreck ship right away.
Looks like Hero. Do you think he's probably going to check Gauntlet? Unfortunately, he's not. Yeah, he's not going to find anything up there.
He's checking Gauntlet for sure, but he's took a save, so he'll reset when he sees that reserve tank.
Pretty big time sink, though.
Yep, it's the other reason that people often do meme route with the idea that they will be able to check that Gauntlet item a lot easier, because the odds of having a good tank count plus power bombs is a lot higher.
Owl's having a real good race so far. Let's see what we got here at X-Ray. Ooh, Spring Ball. Very nice.
Very nice item. Could be progression depending on what they need to do, what they have when they go towards Lower Norfair, because you can use Spring Ball jumps in the worst room in the game, and there's always the possibility of the Suitless Meridia.
That's right. Polar Bear Bunny not far behind CanadianOwl. She's going to collect her Spring Ball shortly as well.
Uh-oh. She fell down. This is actually kind of scary when this happens, because you do need to get on the spikes to get up there.
Can you not crouch jump and shoot?
Not without high jump, you can't.
That's too bad.
She's got enough energy to do it, so she should be fine if she doesn't panic. Okay, there you go. There you go. That's what you need to do.
Nicely done.
Oh, she fell again.
Gosh.
Oh, bunny, please. Okay. Okay, there you go. Unfortunately, she's got the grapple beam to get out, so she should be fine. But man, if there was any time you wanted to see an E-tank here, this was it.
Seriously.
Meanwhile, we see Owl did decide to go down. Is getting an E-tank at Spazer. And these jumps over the ocean are not easy either. Decides to go ahead and use that grapple beam.
All right, Bunny. Relax.
Just get across, take the floater's refill, you should be fine.
Oh my god.
That's rough.
Yep, that's very, very unfortunate. I don't think she's saved up to that point, has she?
No, she hasn't. Nope. We're seeing her starting from the beginning.
Yeah, that's basically a 12-minute time loss. That's, it's not impossible, but it's pretty hard to overcome something that catastrophic. But that goes to show you, I mean, listen, I've died trying to go to X-ray multiple times, like multiple times. Even if you have grapple or space jump, there are small things that can happen to you, like accidentally running into one of those blocks and getting stuck or getting grabbed by the yapping maw. So it's not uncommon for someone to die.
The only time X-ray is free is when you have both space jump and screw attack. There's a reason why in Hundo we don't get X-ray until we have both space jump and screw attack. Well, I mean, by time it's probably the best time to do it, but it just allows you to go really fast and really quick. Whereas even with just space jump, you can easily, you just run into one of those waivers and it knocks you down. You have to worry about getting those spikes. So yeah, definitely by no means free.
Owl swagging with the plasma SBA over here on Kraid. Hidden strats.
And a lot of E-tanks we've seen. So these hell runs, if they should decide to do them, should be pretty comfortable.
Yeah, we'll see. Again, just to be clear about all this, we've talked about the logic. Some people are used to the Varia logic because that's what's been used in the leagues the last couple of seasons. But our seeds are not necessarily purposefully pushing anybody in any kind of direction. There's no seed speed or anything like that, so there's no plando aspect really to what's going on. So we didn't roll a troll seed or anything. It's just it just happened to be that that's where energy tanks have been.
Well, we could have rolled a troll seed, but it has nothing to do with progression speed.
Yeah, exactly. It's not doing it to them. It's not purposefully putting items in locations to try to keep it slow on purpose. It just happens to be that there's a lot of energy tanks early, but we'll have to wait and see. It might, sometimes these things can turn around quickly. You can run into 2 or 3 or 4 items in a row that really make you move quicker.
And their hero comes up with something we did not see at all in the earlier race. He's gotten an ice beam.
Dude, I love ice beam. Let's go.
So it'll be interesting to see, depending on what else is in the wreck ship, he might be one of the only ones to actually get that item. Well, Rossu will get it. He's also in the wreck ship, but Owl going down. If he manages to do the Fantoon last, which a lot of people like to do, he's not going to get that ice beam.
Yep, looks like CanadianOwl is going to be our Norfair runner for this particular race. So let's have a look and see, now that they're diverging, what all we end up with in all the locations. Looks like Hero did a little save before heading over to the wrecked ship energy tank location. You got an official guess? Oh, this is going to be a bit difficult to get to.
Yeah, he needs to lay that power bomb a little bit lower. You want it to be kind of halfway on the water line. That was much closer right there. And then you need to jump and midair morph again. And there we go. There he's got it.
Very nice.
That is not an easy thing to do.
It is not. It's also really, it's always really satisfying when you get it.
Absolutely. Especially if you find a good item over there.
What's your official prediction, Tracy? I'm going to go with Space Jump.
I'd like to see a suit both down in Norfair and one in wreck ship, and because that makes things really interesting.
Space Jump incoming. Let's find out.
Well, I'll be excited about that. It is my favorite item after all, and just an E-tank.
Just an energy tank.
Oh, and Owl finds Varia suit.
Oh wow, look at that.
I don't think we're going to see any Varia skips this run. We did see some people skip it last run because it was in the sand pit.
That's right. I was just about to make a point about energy tanks having more value in Dash than some of the other randomizers, just because if you end up with a seed where Varia is in kind of a bad location, then those extra energy tanks can really help you with your potential lower Norfair Hell run. But we won't be seeing that in this race.
Yeah, that gravity suit making that huge difference.
It could still be a suitless Meridia seed, though. Technically, there's a very small chance of that happening.
We have Ice Beam available. We have Grapple Beam available. We have Spring Ball available. All we need is those high jump boots, and that could easily be the case.
That is very true. We do have some of the ingredients for a suitless Meridia so far. Personally, I really like CanadianOwl's call here. He's checking this cathedral location, and even though it's a regular missile, he's still going to pick it up. Until you find the charge beam, like the vanilla charge beam for the 100% damage, missiles still have a lot of value, not only in terms of future preparation for potentially killing the Zebs if you need to, but also Mother Brain 1. But they can also come in handy against Ridley and Mother Brain 2 as well if you never pick up vanilla charge, even with the plasma beam. So I like the call.
Well, and I really like it too, because you talked about the Zebs in particular. In the way this works is if you end up using Spazer to get over to Dragon, you need ammo to do your Zebs skip as we sometimes call it. Because if you don't have Speed Booster and you don't have Ice Beam, you're not Zeb skipping.
So, Tracy, did you see that?
I missed something.
we exactly what you wanted earlier, what you called for, we got it. First of all, CanadianOwl grabbing Speed Booster right here, but the wreck ship reserve item is for the second seed in a row is Gravity Suit.
Oh boy.
And
that's really rough for Hero, and that's
he doesn't have regular bombs or Speed Booster. So technically, it looks like right now, unless bombs, the only thing that can be down here that can get Hero up there is the regular bomb. If it's at a Gravity Suit, then he can get up there. But otherwise, CanadianOwl's decision to go down for this particular seed is going to pay off huge, because number one, he can go ahead, if he doesn't find high jump boots, he can still potentially do a high jump bootless lava dive to go ahead and clear Lower Norfair while he's down here. But at the same time, he's got the speed booster that will allow him to go pick up the gravity suit later. So, holy moly, man. Going wreck ship first on this one. Doesn't look like it's going to pay off.
And Owl is capable of doing that high jumpless lava dive, so we'll see if he chooses to go for it today or not.
The only thing I will warn against is in other randomizers, holy moly.
Oh, and there are those bombs. Hero getting
in other randomizers, Various Suit is overtuned to provide just a ridiculous amount of environmental damage. It's not overtuned in this particular randomizer, so he will not have as many chances to get where the high jump boots were at
so Hero has high jump boots.
Ship. So my goodness, this is crazy.
So he's going to get that. If he gets that spring ball, and there's no reason he shouldn't, he's going to have all the ingredients to do Suitless Meridia. So it'd be interesting to see, knowing where that gravity suit is, if he decides to just go ahead and do the Suitless thing, or if he'll go back and get it.
Yeah, but the big thing here is just, if you went to wreck ship first, that means you just went through attic twice. Like, if you're going to end up getting gravity suit, you're going to have to go through attic twice. You're going to have to do bowling twice. You're going to have to path back up there twice. Like, it's just, you're losing a ton. It's not the end of the world, but you're losing a whole lot.
So yeah, they'll have to make that call. Do I backtrack all the way up to get that gravity suit, or do I do Suitless Meridia? And depending on your skill level and things like that, someone like, say, Sloters, who is already qualified but is playing, someone like Sloters, he's got a lot of RBO experience. He's going to probably just say, well, I'm not getting that gravity suit. I'm just going to go ahead and do full suitless. But I don't know what Hero and Rossu's comfortability is with doing full suitless, so it'll be interesting to see what they decide.
Well, the problem is, I guess you're right. If you went wreck ship first and you saw gravity but couldn't get it, but then you went ahead and had the high jump boots and all the other items that were requisite for going suitless, yeah, I would probably make that call.
Yep. It's not a call I would make for myself personally, because I've never managed to get out of Dragon's Room without that stuff. But if I had that ability, then yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you're good at doing the suitless thing, then I would absolutely say do that.
Yep, that's right. Plus, as people have pointed out in the chat, some of these people that go, like, look at CanadianOwl, the people who are going Norfair first might go to Croc, whereas the people who went to wreck ship won't. So, knowing what they, like, once they find what they need to get up to wreck ship, they're going to go back there instead of doing Croc. Like, they probably will choose not to do Croc. The only thing Croc could have right now that can make a significant difference, and what I mean by that is like a legitimately significant difference to how fast you move through the seed, would be Charge Beam. There's nothing left that Croc could have that's going to make a huge impact.
Screw Attack would be nice, Space Jump would be nice, but yeah, no, neither one of those would be the game changers that Charge would be.
Exactly. They would not make up the amount of time invested. This is actually a really fascinating seed.
Okay, let's see.
I wish we could watch everybody at the same time.
Okay, one last item at Croc, and then Owl's gonna have to make a decision. X-ray scope. Okay. I mean, we have the mini microwave, because
yeah, it's not as powerful. Usually you can't one-round stuff. That's not the item he wanted to see there. I mean, it can be helpful, but it's not going to be, extremely effective.
And Toasty making a real good point in chat, because these guys that have Polar Bunny and CanadianOwl who went down first and did find variant speed, they will still have to go the wreck ship because they will need to get the other items there, since they won't have enough to do Suitless Meridia. Just a question of whether you do lower Norfair first. And it looks like with Owl farming up, I think he is going to go for that high jumpless lava dive. Polar Bear Bunny, I suspect, will go up to the wreck ship and not go. I'm pretty certain she does not have that capability of doing high jumpless.
Yeah, so as I mentioned earlier, this is actually kind of a big deal for how you would approach some aspects of Dash, but pay attention to CanadianOwl stream for a few minutes here. When he goes to try to do this high jump bootless lava dive, he does have a lot of energy, but he is not going to have as many shots at it as you would be accustomed to in other randomizers because he's going to be taking more environmental damage from the lava than he would in those other ones.
Now he should be fine. He does run GT Classic, where you're typically going to do this on what, 3 tanks, and of course a regular various.
I'm just saying, like, look at his. I'm not worried about his ability. I'm saying, like, just from the point of view of understanding how this randomizer works. If you walk into this room expecting to have the same number, like even right now you can see it. If you're expecting to have the same amount of leeway, you just won't have it. So he does have tons of energy tanks, and I'm sure he'll be fine. I've seen him do this trick many times. But, you know, again, if he messes up, he's only going to have like 2 or 3 shots at it.
Yeah, and I will point out that with the GT Classic reference, he would probably have high jump boots with that, although some people will run that without. Okay, he's going to have to try and take one of these flames over so he can get some iframes to do some wall jumps over here to the left, and then get the wall jump on the right side. And misses that first one. He does have enough ammo that he can crystal flash and get another set of tries before going back to his save, though.
Yeah, part of the reason he's only going to get 2 shots here is because it's not only the environmental damage, it's also he's taking twice as much damage, you know, from... Well, he's taking more damage from the flames, from the Namahaze than, you know, people might be accustomed to. So he's had 2 good attempts. Okay, this is, he might have 2 more. He did not release fast enough. I don't think he's got enough left. He probably should just take the death right here, unless he's deciding to leave completely.
Even if he's deciding to leave, where he's saved, I think is actually quicker to get out of. So this is interesting. Maybe he's gonna farm up some power bombs? No, he's gonna reset. Okay.
A small, good little tip that I found is if you have a good first, like if you get off the left side correctly, if you get your iframes and do the wall jumps off the spikes correctly, you're going to be high enough to get hit if you do it correctly by the top Namahaze flame. And what you need to do, my visual cue is, if you pay attention to it, once it opens its mouth to release the flame, if you let go of your jump input at that point to start falling, you will have enough momentum to make it over to the right, and you'll be underneath that flame. So it's always good to have a few visual cues for some of these tricks.
And interesting that we see Polar Bear Bunny, who's made up a lot of time from that death, did skip Grapple Beam on the second shot, and is going to have to go back this way to get out when she does. Okay, looks like Owl's going to go for round 2.
See, it's really interesting because, you know, it's one of those things where it's like, we all know CanadianOwl is capable of doing this, right? But at the same time, you know, it's interesting because the way the item set fell, only he was put into a position to even have to make the choice to do this.
Yep.
And sometimes if you're just a little off your game, that can end up costing you more than the items being in a bad position elsewhere.
He's having trouble with that wall jump. He got it a couple of times.
Rossu finding his various suit, and he's got the high jump boots, so I am very confident that Rossu will go ahead and do lower Norfair as soon as he gets done clearing Bubble Mountain.
Absolutely.
My assumption... Oh, good job by CanadianOwl. Now we're in.
Okay,
I assume Rossu will full clear Bubble Mountain, will not go to Croc, and we'll do lower North Air, and might not even check all the lower North Air items. He might skip. If I were him personally, I would probably skip the screw check. I'd probably still check Ridley and Firefly, just in case, you know, space jump will make you go a little bit faster if you have it in one of those locations, or charge beam, maybe even screw attack. But yeah, I think at this point he's pretty much just gonna beeline it, and then as soon as he's done, probably go direct ship, pick up gravity, and try to finish. So his pathing is pretty straightforward at this point.
Yeah, the one thing he might be looking for is charge beam, or he might just pick up ammo along the way.
Yeah, for sure. Which this has not been the heaviest of super seeds. Earlier today, the seed that we had a ton of supers in it.
Okay, just an E-tank at GT. Owl's going to have to do a spring ball jump to get out of here.
See, here's another thing. You know, man, I find it really fascinating the way these seeds work. This is a check that the other runners who went direct ship first probably won't check, or are less incentivized to check. But CanadianOwl has no idea where gravity is, right?
Yeah,
so he's probably going to check
it.
every item.
He could have, I believe he did save at the top. He could reset to that if he wanted to. But again, the energy refill here is nice. And I will point out also, he's going to have to do this spring ball jump. And without high jump boots, it's a much more difficult play than with high jump boots. And the timing is just that much tighter.
Yeah, trying to get the spring ball jump, but it's a little bit different, as you said.
Yep. Like on the with high jump boots, you have time to wait after you unpause. Without the high jump boots, you don't have nearly that much time. And the tricky part is you need to make sure that the pause happens in such a way that you are still moving up. But if you don't get it in the right spot, you end up bonking. So it looks like Owl is just going to switch over to bombs and bomb jump his way out. I'd forgotten he had those, so he did have another option at least.
Yeah, bombs are, I've said this before, they're not overtuned by any stretch of the imagination, but I love bombs. Like anytime I find bombs early in a seed, I love it because you just get to play way more naturally. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. I do kind of refer to them in randomizer as a luxury item because we get power bombs so early, and bombs are so much more powerful. But having bombs it's relaxing if nothing else. You don't have to worry about soft locks. You don't have to worry about power bomb count the same way. When you don't have bombs, especially if you have a very low power bomb count. I mean, look at Owl right now. He's got 15 max, but he's got 2 right now. So he's gonna have.
Right.
So if he didn't have bombs, he'd have to be conscious of those 2 power bombs. Otherwise, he risks soft lock.
Here's another area where not having the high jump boots is going to make this room in particular way slower. You know, if somebody's equipped to do the new route, worst room in the game here, they're probably going to run I don't know, 12 or something in this room. Whereas CanadianOwl is going to have probably 30 plus seconds in this room. So little things add up, man.
Yeah, he's again going to have a choice between spring ball jump and bomb jumps. This one is a little more forgiving because the ledge just doesn't quite go as far over, so he's going to have an easier time getting that spring ball jump, I think. Okay, meanwhile, Polar Bear Bunny does decide to leave Norfair, as I thought she might. Probably going to head up to the wreck ship. She'll get her gravity suit.
Somewhere out there, Aussie has de-equipped high jump boots and is doing the worst room in the game, wall jump just for kicks, I'm sure.
Yeah, I could see that. And now in Amphitheater is also no joke. He needs to stay ahead of that lava, that acid, because, oh my god, being in that acid without a gravity suit, very difficult to get out, but he gets through just fine.
Yeah, I think we've all died in that room at some point earlier.
Absolutely.
In fact, CanadianOwl died in there earlier today, in qualifier number 3, if I recall
that's
correctly.
Right. I believe he said that in the chat.
I remember in the 2017 tournament, I died in that room to the same exact thing in one of my races, but I had saved right before. It was funny. Right before I entered Lower Norfair, I saved, and people were like, "Why is he saving? That's so dumb." And then I died, and I was like, "Got him."
Oh, I never get on someone for saving. You know, you gotta know what you can and can't do, and where the danger is, and you know, saving may lose you a little bit of time in the short run, but if you die, it saves you a lot of time in the long run.
I'll take a 10-second time loss in most scenarios over even a small chance at a 10+ minute time loss. You know what I'm saying?
And shortly, we're gonna have 3 runners in Lower Norfair, as Rossu just got his lava dive.
Can we just take a moment to appreciate Lower Norfair? What an awesome place, man. I love Lower
I,
Norfair.
I do too. I absolutely love Lower Norfair. It's my favorite part of the game, especially in randomizer, because depending on your item loadout, you might have the super. You know, you have your both suits, charge beam, space jump, screw attack. You just blow through everything, or you could have something like what Owl has, and just you really have to concentrate and make sure you don't make mistakes and do all these little tricks that we're seeing. And it just either way, I just think it's so much fun.
It's got cool enemies. I love the music. I love the background and like just the aesthetic overall. Like the visual images in the location is really cool. It's I think Ridley's by far the coolest boss in this entire game. So it's a cool spot, man. I love going down there.
Well, and I just remember the first time I got there, and I just got to the bottom of the elevator, let the music play because I could tell it was going to be awesome, and just knowing
Right.
that the game meant business now.
Yeah. When you're playing this game for the first time and you hear that music, you're like, uh-oh. Something's happening.
Okay, Owl's gonna farm up. We don't have charge beam, so having as many, he already has 20 supers, so that'll make it a little bit easier. Because of course, with this beam combination without charge beam, and in fact, he'd actually his ammo right now without the starter charge beam would be pretty darn tight. He'd want to farm up some more of those power bombs. He'd have to use them, but with the starter charge beam, he can go right in and. We'll be able to finish this, but it's going to be interesting because it is the starter charge beam, so it's not going to be the normal 20 shots that we're used to, or 24 since we don't have ice beam. Ooh, nice use of SBAs there, X factoring to start off.
In the meantime, while this Ridley fight's going on, I got to point out, Hero has been making up some time here, moving quite quickly. Rossu has already checked Firefly and saw that it was a reserve tank. Bunny doing some microwave action on the Space Ghost here. And CanadianOwl having a nice Ridley fight so far. Not having high jump boots actually is has a pretty big effect on fighting Ridley actually.
You see Owl using regular missiles here. And especially when Ridley's in that pogo pattern, it's a really good choice in my opinion. Because you just start loading out just spamming those missiles.
Yeah, he's co-jacked 2 supers already though. That's not good.
No, he's gonna have to make up some more with that charge beam.
I'm not really worried about him dying, although I mean it is possible. He just co-jacked a 3rd one. That's a lot of extra charge shots. And don't forget, this would be like him only having now 3. It's really like him having 1.5 energy tanks because he only has the Various suit. But he is done, thank goodness.
Well done, Owl.
I'm telling you, Varia only Lower Norfair is another one of those situations where people get down there like, oh, this will be easy, and then all of a sudden they forget they're taking double damage from Ridley.
Oh yeah.
And it can get hairy in a hurry. But yeah, we got Space Jump. Do it up, Tracy.
There's that space jump of mine. I love that space jump.
I like Polar Bear Bunny's call, by the way. Polar Bear Bunny, did all of her stuff in Upper Norfair, and then, decided, she didn't want to go for a high jump bootless lava dive, so she's now going up to her wreck ship, and she's going to clear it out, and I think that's great. She's going to be able to get her gravity suit, and then she'll be able to just basically run Meridia and Lower Norfair, normal, straight up. So she's going to be in a very comfortable position to get those finished.
Yeah, it's very important, I think, knowing what you can and can't do. I'd be in the same boat as Polar Bear Bunny. I can't do high jump with lava dive. I'm certainly not going to try and break it out in a race situation. So very smart on her part to just go ahead and say, you know what, there's got to be something in wreck ship, so let's go get it.
Yeah, and I feel really bad because she was. I mean, she's played great. If she hadn't died earlier,
Yep.
she would be she'd be right here with the rest of the runners.
Yeah, Owl's only 3 energy tanks and very, so looks like he's gonna be very careful here. Doesn't quite get the speedball out, but he has bombs, so just uses them. Hero finishing up with Ridley as Rossu starts with Ridley. Interesting, Rossu had a higher maximum number of supers, but didn't farm up, so he's gonna have to use a lot more of those charge beam shots.
Probably the right call, even though he only has starter charge, having plasma, the amount of time invested to get the supers would have been, counterbalanced by the speed of the fight. So it's probably pretty close. But once again, I mean, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to float my own boat, but watching people have somewhat extended Ridley fights to me is exactly part of the thing that I was going for with this randomizer.
Mm-hmm.
This is much closer to what you see in traditional speedruns, as opposed to 99% of the time people just blowing 30 supers on Ridley in 20 seconds and it being over in most randomizers. So I'm very happy to see this being an integral part of people's speed and ability. Rossu, unfortunately, co-jacked in a little bit. But yeah, Owl's out of there. He's good to go, and he's probably going to go to wreck ship. Now, I don't think we're going to see him make any other choices like going to Gauntlet or anything like that. I think he'll just try to finish up here.
Yeah, Gauntlet makes sense after wreck ship if you don't find what you need, because at that point it almost has to be what you need. But here, you're going to go to wreck ship first, hoping to find that gravity suit.
Yeah, he doesn't really have a choice to try to do suitless because he doesn't have high jump boots or ice. So, yep.
I'm more interested in seeing what Rossu and Hero do if they go for the suitless thing, because they do have the items they need for it, and they know the gravity suit, where it is, and what decision they make regarding that.
Well, we have a interesting comment in the SRL channel.
I'll let you share.
Yeah, I don't know.
If you want to,
it just depends. I don't make a point to say everything that happens in there.
No, I don't either.
But it's also coming from a player who's already qualified, so it's not like the end of the world or anything. It's so funny. I think we should share. We won't say who said it, but somebody just posted, "I have never felt less intelligent than right now." So.
I feel like that all the time when I play randos. I'm much smarter at randomizer when I'm commentating than I am at playing them.
Well, I'm gonna count that as a win for Dash, because I'm just gonna selfishly assume that he made a decision because it's Dash that he normally maybe wouldn't make, because there's more options, and then maybe it didn't work out the way he wanted. But we'll see. We'll see.
And you'd appreciate this, Kip, being a teacher. I had a professor that once said, my intelligence is inversely proportional to the distance I am to the chalkboard. So
there you go. Very nice. Look at Polar Bear Bunny getting that sweet purple gravity suit. First one on our stream to have the gravity. Let's go. Well, I guess it's no longer a mystery who put that in the SRL chat.
Speaking, he shall appear. Okay, Owl heading over to the wrecked ship. Okay, Hero, done with Norfair. What are you going to do next? Owl's showing the power of space jumping across the ocean super quick.
I love space jumping over the ocean when you have Speed Booster. So nice.
Oh, probably my favorite strat, and you don't get to use it very often, is that when you're leaving the wrecked ship, if you can get the speed echoes while doing the space jump.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay, Hero is going for the suitless.
I don't hate the call. Go get it, buddy.
Oh, I love this call.
Yikes.
We'll have to switch to Spring Ball, though, having killed the fish there.
The only problem with doing suitless Meridia in randomizer is you don't always know what the counts are for the fish and the crab because they might be different. Your beam combination might be different than what you have when you traditionally do RBO. So things like accidentally shooting the enemies one too many times and killing them instead of freezing them can happen.
Okay, looks like Rossu is gonna go ahead and pick up that gravity suit. And seeing as how Rossu is only a little bit behind Hero going out of Lower Norfair, it'll be interesting to compare the two. Oh, maybe not. Maybe he's just picking up a refill to do it. Let's see if he's gonna refill to do Suitless Meridia, or if he's still gonna.
Nah, he's going to wreck ship. Yeah. But I don't like. Okay, let me be very clear. This is very small. Him losing probably 12 seconds to go in that room to get the refill, not a huge deal, right? But at the same time, I'm not sure if I agree with the call, just because you don't have a ton of health, but you don't really need that much for what you're about to do. And on top of that, you're really likely to run into an energy tank soon. So, you know, it's small. You know, 12 seconds is usually not going to matter in a situation like this, but you never know.
Yeah, since he's already killed Fan 2, and that would be the biggest reason to get that refill. But he's already done that. He just needs to run up,
right, exactly.
go get that gravity suit. Now, when I say just needs to, that is a time sink, but we should to contrast that with what Hero is trying to do right now.
See, a lot of this too, the thing I love about Super Metroid is, you know, you always hear people talking about, well, this is faster, this is faster, this is faster, XYZ. And that may be true in theory, but a lot of this comes down to your execution. You know, like Suitless Meridia might be faster than going back and getting the suit and going back down, but that's only if you do it correctly.
Yeah,
and
yeah, you know, we have a bad habit of leaving out a key word when we talk about what's faster, and that's the word optimal. So a lot more optimally. So what might be fastest optimally isn't necessarily fastest for the individual runners. Rossu already in the attic, doesn't even have to kill the enemies, he's already been here. And in fact, is quite on par with where CanadianOwl is about to get that gravity suit. So kind of a little bit of a convergence here between Rossu and CanadianOwl.
Bugs Can't Hide just brought up a good point. Nobody in this race has finished yet, and so that means that no matter what, Sloters is going to be our #1 seed for the tournament, which I am not surprised by. Sloters is a fantastic racer and had a great time today in the seed, which our qualifier 3 seed was definitely the fastest one.
Oh, definitely.
3 of the 4 top seeds currently got their actually, the top 3 seeds currently all got that time in that race. So congratulations to Sloters for being the #1 seed no matter what happens.
Yeah, and I have a feeling that we're gonna have a lot of the people that ran that seed and got qualifying times from that seed are gonna be pretty safe because we're not really that close to finishing here for anyone.
That's true. And with that said, though, everybody had their shot to do as many qualifiers as they want, and you just got to make, whatever choices you make in your race. So either way, I feel like we have a pretty balanced and fair system. This seed wasn't really that troll, but I think this was the most interesting seed.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
think the most
wreck
troll one
ship
was actually the first one.
Yeah, very waterway without being able to get there till way late. I don't remember where you said speed booster was, but the Spazer Beam not even being able to help you out there is kind of. Yeah, look at
Yes.
Rossu and Owl both picking up their gravity suits, just real close here.
One thing I really like about what we've seen so far in the qualifiers, and this was designed, this is sort of what I had in mind when I was designing a lot of these things, is I wanted the changes to add diversity, but I didn't want them to dominate every seed. And so
Sure.
far, most of the qualifiers have not seen the changes be, the single biggest difference. You know what I mean? So, we might have a seed later in the tournament where they do make a ginormous difference, but I don't want it to be like, the changes are now like the primary thing that you see every time.
Mm-hmm.
I think Rossi's going to catch Hero.
Yeah, very possibly. Well, Hero's doing a very nice job with the suitless Meridia. He did run in the RBO tournament that went on this summer, so definitely Hero is familiar with doing these strats, so he's gonna be able to finish it.
Yeah,
And having
he
that
actually
space
played
jump is
me,
nice. Yeah, having
and
that
he
spaceship
beat
also
me.
helps.
Yeah,
That's
it helps a
right.
ton. But yeah, he beat me. Well, he didn't.
Well, not yeah. He
beat
one
me
game.
overall, but he beat me one game. But it was
Yep.
best out of 3.
Yep.
And I think what
I'd
I was
forgotten
proud about was he PB'd Okay, he beat me, and then the second and third race he PB'd in both of them. He straight PB'd in both races, and I still managed to win. So he had me really nervous because he was playing extremely well in that. But he definitely is good at suitless. The problem isn't his ability to execute. Like, I don't think Rossu's going to catch him because of his inability to execute. I think it's just that, like, the speed at which Rossu's going to be able to move with the gravity suit, by the time you also do the exit, I think it's going to catch up pretty quickly.
Yeah, Rossu prioritizing ammo, gets the Main Street missiles, which are vanilla today. I'm not sure we've seen anyone check Mama Turtle today. Okay, Hero can do the RBO strat with the Crystal Flash here. Looks like. He does have other options. So normally in RBO, of course, you don't have Spring Ball. So what he could have done is just killed Dragon in whatever fashion he chooses, and then grapple jump out of here, and then do a Spring Ball jump out of the Precious Room. He's probably going to choose to skip one of those, either not do the grapple jump or not do the Spring Ball jump.
This should be relatively, like, slightly faster.
Oh, misses the quick kill.
Some of it depends on Dragon. I don't agree with him trying to get out of Dragon's claw there. He could have just stayed in. But then again, I mean, he's trying to play it safe. He doesn't have gravity, so he's taking double damage. So it's not a bad call. But yeah, it should be slightly faster to run this strat than to do spring ball jumps, but it just kind of depends on Dragon's behavior. Polar Bear Bunny fighting Ridley. He should be getting close to death here. Hopefully she can wrap this up without taking much more damage. Oh, look at that. Charge beam.
Ooh, baby. So, I mean, yeah, I guess you could have gone up to, if you went to wreck ship, and then went to Meridia before going to Lower Norfolk, you could have had that charge beam for the Ridley fight, but typically not what you do. If you can get down to Lower Norfolk, usually you just do it.
Phew, Polar Bear Bunny.
Yeah, she's gonna have to be careful coming out of here. Only 12 energy left. I don't know what she's got in her reserves. And it's not going to be an E-Tank, but she is going to get Space Jump. And she's like me. She loves that Space Jump, so she'll be really happy to see that.
Exactly. I think that's her favorite item, too. But look at this. We got Rossu just slightly behind CanadianOwl. We got Hero slightly ahead of both, but gonna have to exit suitless, which is not super fast.
No, not at all.
Even though he does have the ability to space jump through this room, it's still going to be pretty slow moving through some of the other ones. The good news, though, is he is able to just go straight to Everest and leave.
Yep.
Man, this is getting pretty interesting.
And I'm just going to point out, nobody has done in the SRL channel yet. So.
No, they have not. This also means that runners such as Zost and Toasty, well, Toasty's not in this one, but Zost and I think maybe Aussie and a few other ones, it looks like they're unlikely to lower their best time at this point. Speak of the devil, Zost just done in first place with an official SRL time of 55:12. That means Zost took down first place in 2 of the 4 qualifiers. Since he has already qualified, he will not take a spot. So there are still 4 qualifying spots open in this particular race. But congratulations to Zost, fantastic Super Metroid player and a very good rando player as well.
Yep, GG to Zost.
He will be a force to be reckoned with in this tournament, I promise you.
Well, think of some of the names we have in this tournament. I mean, yeah, Zost, you got Slaughter's, you got Azure, you got Maniacal, Aussie, you know. I mean, we've got some good players.
We sure do. It's gonna be fun. I'm actually a little jealous. I'm gonna be honest. I can't enter because I'm organizing and putting this whole thing together. But I'm kind of jealous because I love racing these guys too. You know, so it's like I missed the chance to be in a qualifier. I think running in a qualifier would be like really fun. But CanadianOwl is out of Meridia. Hero is still moving. Hero and Rossu are gonna be really tight right here, because Rossu's only a few rooms away. He's definitely a few rooms behind, but he's going to be able to move a slightly faster in Everest when he gets there. So I think Hero might be a few, maybe 20 seconds ahead, depending. Let's see how long it takes Hero to get up into this door. Okay, 56:20 on the door transition. He also has to do this part correctly. There we go. That took a few seconds.
Okay, Hero out of Meridia. Now, he is going to have to be a little bit more careful when he gets to his mother brain fight. We've seen a few issues with runners forgetting the Varia is not as powerful as they're used to when they get to that fight and damages themselves down a little bit too much. So hopefully this doesn't get him this time.
So Rossu just barely behind Hero here. Man, this is a crazy race. Dude, I'm telling you, like, I think 3 out of the 4 qualifiers we've had 3 runners on screen, all super close to each other, going into Lower Norfair with slightly different item sets. Like, I can't even tell you how happy I am about that. Like, that is very cool. I love that. So let's see how this is gonna go.
Okay, Owl into Torian. Hero not far behind. Rossu not far behind Hero.
Speaking of which, Hero's very well equipped to do this because, like you've mentioned before, he runs RBO, but he's going to have to run slightly different strats in a couple of the Metroid rooms. Definitely 1, and potentially 3 because of the lava. He doesn't have gravity. It's not a big deal, like it's not some huge time lost, but even just now you saw CanadianOwl run a strat where he ran straight through the lava. Hero's gonna have to be a little bit more deliberate. He's probably gonna have to stop on this this platform. Yep, see here. Again, nothing major. You know, I'm not trying to say that this is gonna be the end all be all, but he's, you know, probably gonna lose about 5 or 6 seconds in some of these rooms. I gotta hand it to Al. I think Al has played quite nicely, considering the situation with the high jump bootless lava dive and all that. He's definitely executed well to make up for the time he spent. But holy moly, ladies and gentlemen, for the second time today, Fruit Bat Salad finishes in second place. This time with an official SRL time of 59:13. So GG to Fruit Bat Salad. Fruit Bat Salad is going to be our number 2 overall seed in this tournament, and showing us again why. What a great performance by him.
Still don't have a new qualifier because he's already in. And FBS, not traditionally a randomizer runner, so really cool that he's decided to take part in this.
Yeah, he's done a lot of these recently, and as you know, Fruit Bat Salad is a very solid Super Metroid runner. I gotta say one more thing about Fruit Bat Salad. Like, all this dude does is win. I don't know if y'all remember this, but he got second place overall in the multi-category tournament last year.
Yeah, he did.
And especially later on, as we got deeper and deeper, he was kind of like the underdog in several matches in a row and just kept beating people. So never count that dude out.
And so now, you looking at the SRL, Kip?
I am. Ladies and gentlemen, we have an extremely hype announcement. Last week was the first time in a long time that Shiny Zinni had ever done a randomizer. He doesn't do them very often. He's memed it up pretty heavily, but tonight he took it seriously, and he is going to be our first qualifier in qualifier number 4, finishing in 3rd place with an official race time of 1 hour and 3 seconds. And I said it last time, I'll say it again. Watch out, because if this dude decides to practice some randomizers, he will be a force to be reckoned with.
And his words in SRL, all caps, "You guys, I did it. I'm a real rando boy now."
His dream has come
well
true.
Done,
he's a real rando boy. That's right. I'm glad that he decided to participate. But I do appreciate Zinni participating in all these just to support, you know, the cause and everything. So I'm happy that he's done it. 4th place, another underrated runner, another person not to overlook. 4th place in this race, Richman 3MM, who has already qualified, and I think is going to be our maybe 5, 6, or 7 seed, something like that. Very solid player. He has finished in 4th place, but he will not be taking a qualifying spot because he's already qualified. So we still have 3 qualifying spots left open. CanadianOwl is getting very close to being done. Hero 82 is also very close to being done. This is
we have 3 runners at Mother Brain right now in different parts of it.
And then finishing in 5th place, Aussie 101, who has also already qualified. Aussie is another fantastic runner. Got 2nd place in both the Any Percent and the DAB tournaments at SG Live back in October. Fantastic Legend of Zelda Link to the Past runner as well, and SMZ3. Very, very experienced guy. So congratulations to him. Looking forward to seeing him in the tournament as well. But that is,
I gotta tell you,
he's not taking a spot though. Anyway, I'm sorry.
No.
Go ahead.
I gotta tell you though, if I'm one of these 3 runners in Torian right now, every time I see a dot done, I'm like, and then oh wait, that person's already in. I'm still good. You know?
Exactly. We still got 3 spots open. It could be these 3 people, but you never know. Somebody off stream could dot done at any moment. So I'm excited to see what happens in the final few minutes.
And unfortunately for Polar Bear Bunny, behind these other 3, having taken that death in the X-ray area, just too much to overcome to get a spot probably, unless one of these 3 messes up and no one else is getting that close. But
Polar Bear Bunny might be done by right now. Yeah, if she hadn't lost 12, like it's probably not going to take 12 minutes for her to finish. Maybe around that. She would be either at the Mother Brain 2 or 3 fight right now, or maybe even done. Look at Hero over here, man. Hero had a very nice Torian. and Hero's going to end up finishing before Al or Rossu.
Just the escape left to him. Owl finishing a Mother Brain 3. Rossu doing his stand-up glitch.
Tracy, we gotta put on more events to have qualifiers in the Super Metroid community because this is hype. Like, I've been super excited at the end of all these races. It's super fun
Absolutely.
to watch. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got 3 spots open. All 3 of the guys on the stream are, you know, in the final escape sequence. So will all 3 of them make it before any other 3 people finish? We'll find out here soon. Looks like Hero's going to be the first one of the 3, unless he has some just horribly catastrophic parlor here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have a second qualifier from this race, Hero 82. Congratulations to him, finishing in 6th place with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 4 minutes, and 30 seconds. He is our second qualifier, followed very shortly by CanadianOwl, who finishes in 7th place with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 4 minutes, and 48 seconds. So the real question is will Rossu finish before anybody else who hasn't qualified? I can go ahead and tell you that Zeb316 just finished in 8th place with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 5 minutes, and 16 seconds, but Zeb had already qualified, so he will not take the last spot. Will Rossu make it in time?
And there it is. Finishing up in the official, actually only 1 second behind Zeb, Rossu with an official SRL time of 1:05:17. Our last qualifier. GG to Rossu. So 3 out of 4 of our streamed runners.
I gotta say, I know how to pick them, you know what I mean? Polar Bear Bunny would have been right there too.
She would have been. And joining us very quickly. How you doing, Rossu? GG's.
Hey, GG.
And congratulations.
I'm surprised I qualified.
You did. And really just barely, because shortly after you, we have Phoenix Down finishing at 1:06:05.
Oh, jeez. Wow. Yeah, I don't know. I shouldn't have taken the risk that I did.
Which one?
Going to Wreck Ship first.
Yeah.
Wreck Ship first gave me nothing but sorrow when I saw the gravity suit. I didn't like, what is it, all E-tanks or something like that? I can't remember.
No, actually, it was a pretty good ship. It had ice,
high jump.
ice beam and high jump.
Right. Okay.
Unfortunately, that gravity suit location, yeah.
So, Rossu, I gotta say, it's nice to have you in the tournament, considering that, technically speaking, I believe you and Zost are the single most experienced Dash runners in terms of y'all were the first 2 people to do an official Dash race, like a real Dash race, at DreamHack Atlanta, maybe a month or so ago, which I really appreciated you being willing to do that. But very excited, man. Tell us a little bit about your race tonight, and just, you know, are you excited about being in the tournament?
I am excited. I was really looking for. Unfortunately, I had a lot of scheduling conflicts, and I was only able to make the very last qualifying race. So I was sweating a little bit, considering I didn't have as many chances as some of the other runners did. But I'm glad that I made it. As far as the seed goes, now that I think about it, going to Wreck Ship first is actually an okay thing, because it had high jump, like Tracy said. I don't know how to do high jump plus lava dive, so I wouldn't have been able to get into Lower Norfair. Either way, I think there's still going to be a lot of backtracking, especially if you don't know how to do high jump plus lava dive. I think. I'm not 100% sure.
Well,
Yeah,
all I'll say is, yeah, before you say that, Tracy, like,
Okay.
if you go back and watch, like, Tracy will tell you a little bit here, but if you go back and watch, you'll see that not having the high jump boots can actually put you in in weird circumstances, even if you can do the high jump bootless lava dive, because lower Norfair was a lot slower for Al and some other situations, but it just depends, man. It was a really fascinating scene to watch unfold.
Yeah, I agree. Like, so now that like at first thought, I was like, why does it have to be gravity? Of all the things, it could have been Varia, and I would have been fine going into lower Norfair with the dash changes. But then it was gravity, and so my weak points are Supless Meridia and high jump style life. And like you said, not having high jump in lower Norfair can be dangerous at times, or slower. So it's I guess either way, it kind of had its flaws. Whether you go down the tower first or up the tower first, either way, you would have experienced some difficulty, I think.
Tracy, if you don't mind, I'm going to update the sheet. Would you mind
Go for it.
taking it over for a second?
Sure. So, yeah, right now I'm trying to see if we can get Zenny in here for an interview. We're having a little bit of trouble because he wasn't on the restream, so he doesn't get the automatic invite.
Oh, right.
But because we had a couple of different interesting things. So Owl went down and did the high jump list. You and Hero both went up, and then it came down to are you going to do Suitless Meridia, or are you going to go back and get that gravity suit? It's really interesting that you guys were pretty darn close. Hero decided to do the full suitless, and you decided to go get that gravity suit. Hero having probably a little more RBO experience.
Right. Yeah, unfortunately, just my overall knowledge or skill of the game is not as strong as a lot of these runners here racing right now. If I was comfortable with Suitless Meridia, I would have definitely gone straight to Meridia after Lord Norfair. There's just that problem of me escaping Dragon's room without gravity. It's something that I need to work on. But I just played to my abilities, and I knew that I had to go back to our ship to get that.
Mm-hmm. And also joining us, who wasn't on Restream, but GG's to Shiny Zenny for our first new qualifier today. Congratulations. How you feeling?
Hey, thanks. I honestly cannot believe that I placed in this run because I also went wreck ship first, but I ended up having to reset wreck ship like 3 or 4 times just because of issues. I actually had to do bowling twice. So
Wow.
like when that happened, I was just like, well, GG, like this is over. And then like I was finishing up Dragon, which was my last boss.
Mm-hmm.
And I noticed that nobody else had done yet, and I was like, what is going on? Like
I'm gonna assume you didn't go back and get that gravity suit.
No, I didn't. I mean, obviously I'm comfortable enough with suitless Meridia that I just once I got Varia, I was like, okay, we're basically in go mode at this point.
Mm-hmm.
I checked a couple other items, and I ended up finding Speed Booster because of that.
Yep.
So that was worth, but yeah, that was, I don't know, that was a weird seed for sure. I'm pretty new to randomizers in terms of playing them. I've watched a fair amount between like the Rando League and the Rando tournament back in 2017, but I've never actually like competed before, and so I've been doing a couple seeds a day pretty much the past week or so, and this was by far the weirdest one that I've seen.
Zenny,
yeah,
Hey, Owl.
thanks for the
Owl.
hint.
Yeah, okay. You want to
what are you talking about?
What you're talking about, Owl? Because
Zenny typed in chat, "I am cursed." And
yeah, I saw that.
initially initially I assumed, oh, he probably went to wreck ship and he found nothing, and he played the previous seed, so I mean, he's probably cursed because, oh, he probably chose the wrong way, and I was good because I had Varia in my path. But then I found nothing else, not much else, except speed and bombs in Warfare. I thought, oh, he's cursed because gravity's speed locked or bombs locked.
Mm-hmm.
So you saw me skip Wreckship E-Tank, and that's
That
why.
makes sense.
Oh, nice, Owl.
I'm meta-quiz.
Yeah, real quick, I gotta say congrats, boys. It was a great race, and I'm excited that you guys made it into the tournament. Should be a lot of fun seeing what you guys do with the seeds. But yeah, tonight's seed was like, I think the first qualifying race was technically the trollest, but this one was really interesting. It allowed for a lot of different options, and it was cool to see how everybody handled it.
Well, we saw 4 completely different routes in this seed, which was really cool. And meanwhile, shouting out, Polar Bear Bunny did finish up with an official SRL time of 1:13.12. So yeah, that's a shame. That would have been really, really close if she hadn't taken that death early on. Really well played by her, though.
Yeah.
Well, I just want to say thanks for the opportunity to participate, Kip. I'm really proud of you with everything you've done with this, and I think it's really cool that you're putting this together. So thank you. I actually have to go, but GG to everybody, and I'll see those of you in the tournament in the brackets, I guess.
Thanks, Zinni.
Yep,
Is today
thanks,
really
Eddie.
your daughter's birthday?
Yes, it is. That's
happy
actually
Well,
birthday.
happy,
Happy
happy
birthday.
birthday to her, man. Hope y'all have fun.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Eddie.
Little kid birthdays are like always the best. We just recently celebrated my niece and nephews, and they got a bouncy house and all that stuff. So
Ooh.
you know, Uncle Kip was in there with them doing some fun stuff.
Yeah, I got some young nieces and nephews too. It's always fun.
So I'm assuming that the other 8 runners before me, some of them already qualified.
Yeah.
Okay, that's why I was a little
Yeah,
bit confused. I was like,
I do have to ask. So, what's it like? You're watching SRL, you see a dot done, but it's somebody that's already finished, that's already got qualified.
I didn't know.
I mean, you didn't
so-
know who was qualified, and who wasn't rossu, but Owl,
Right.
I think, may have an idea who is
Yeah.
in and who is out. So, what's that like? I mean, like every time you see that dot done, it's like, oh, I'm done. But no, I'm not. I still have a shot at this.
I think that's for Al, but for me, it was every time that someone got done, up until the 4th one, I just got more nervous. And when the 4th one finished, I was like, oh no, I didn't make it. I thought about just forfeiting right there, but then, I was like, okay, I'll finish. I'm already in Turian at that point, so I was like, okay, I'll just finish it off, and we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Well, it's a good thing you didn't, and you just kept going, because that would have been awful. Like forfeiting and then like, wait a minute.
Yeah, I remember that Mother Brain does 120 damage with Varia off, unless that was changed.
You mean with Varia on?
I'm sorry, Gravity on and Varia off.
Okay.
Right? Something like that.
Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah, it is different. It is harder. Yeah, you have to. The
So
damage is more in this case.
I was like, should I, I was like, should I get stand up? Should I just take it easy? So I decided to go for stand up anyway. But yeah, it's fun.
I accidentally did the right thing and kept both suits on, but that meant I had to damage down for 4 tanks.
I don't know the math behind that. The only one that I know is the one with the 6 tank. Oh, sorry, 7 tank.
Yeah, it is 7 tanks, and then you only get to damage 3 tanks, and then you have to damage yourself down to under a tank very fast.
Yeah, I'm not comfortable with that at all. So
Me neither, but once I realized it, I had to do this.
yeah, I was just like staring at my reserve tank, knowing that I had some in backup. So I don't know. It worked out, I guess. But yeah, I'm pretty rusty actually. I spent like the last 2 or 3 weeks exploring a new speedrun. So it's last time I played was
Minecraft, right?
Yeah, Minecraft.
Yeah, I kept seeing your live stuff, and I was like, "Whoa, how do you speedrun Minecraft?"
That's a good question.
It's interesting. So the any percent for Minecraft is basically you just kill the dragon and enter the exit portal. When you see the credits, you're done. There are other like different kinds of categories, just like how we have extensions for Super Metroid, you know, like Yapping Moss and all that. There are categories like get all types of swords or, you know, things like that. Now we're kind of working on doing the 100% category, which is getting all the achievements in the game, which can last up to like 8 hours. So it's like it's basically an RPG at this point.
Damn, 8 hours speedrun? Oh my
Yeah.
god. I mean, I do SMZ3, and when those take like 4 hours, so and that's a long time for me. So.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna like it or not, but the any percent for me is about an hour and a half, so it's right in there.
Yeah, that's right in there.
Yeah, that's like the sweet spot for a speedrun, I guess. But I should definitely de-rust and try to stay in top shape here for this upcoming tournament.
Yeah, absolutely.
Speaking of the tournament, I'm going to need to make an announcement real quick. Ladies and gentlemen, we now officially have the all 16 runners for the tournament, as well as their seeding. And I'll just go ahead and announce the way the tournament will work is it's just going to be a 16, player single elimination normal kind of bracket. So the 1 seed will play the 16 seed, the 2 will play the 15, just like y'all have seen it a million times. So let me go ahead and announce the seeds, and we'll also announce who the first opponent will be. So give me just a moment here. Okay, number 1 seed, Sloters 27, will be racing against number 16 seed, Rossu, in the first round.
Oh, baby,
so, Rossu,
Rossu.
congratulations. Hey, but before anybody thinks that it's a foregone conclusion, let's not forget Rossu took down Zost at the DreamHack. So it's a 1 run.
Oh, it's
not
randomizer. It's not. Yeah,
it's
one run.
Race, so anything can happen.
Anything can happen.
Number 2 seed, Fruit Bat Salad. Number 2 seed will face number 15 seed, CanadianOwl. Number 3 seed, Maniacal 42, will face number 14 seed, Cross Product. That's a really interesting one.
That's a really interesting one.
Number 4 seed.
Those guys know a lot of tricks, especially Cross Product. But Maniacal has quite a few tricks in his bag too, so that'll be a fun one.
That's true. Number 4 seed, Zost, will face number 13 seed, Hero 82. Number 5 seed, Azure, will have the privilege of racing new Rando boy Shiny Zenny, who is the 12th seed.
Oh,
so Azure versus Zenny in the first round.
Oh, I can't wait to see that one.
Number 6, Toasty. Toasty will be racing number 11 seed, Zeb316. Number 7 seed, Richman 3mm, will be racing Pizza 34, who is the number 10 seed. And then the number 8 seed, Woody, will be racing number 9 seed, Aussie 101. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is your field. I can't even begin to tell you how pumped I am. I think this is a fantastic list of players. We got a lot of hype matchups. Every single person on here is capable of running a good time and beating anybody. So this is going to be great. So good luck to all of our participants. It's going to be fun to watch.
That's going to be one hell of a day.
I'm excited, yeah.
Mark your calendars, ladies and gentlemen. Saturday, January the 18th. It's going to be a one-day, the first, as far as I know, one-day Super Metroid tournament for cash. It's being called sort of unofficially the Dash for Cash. It's going to be on SpeedGaming starting at 12 noon Eastern time, and it should last about 12 hours. We're going to have not every single match, but most of the matches will be restreamed. Some of them will be on SpeedGaming too, from around 12 to maybe 3 o'clock or so. But after that, everything else will be on SpeedGaming, and you will see tons and tons of matches. So we're really looking forward to it. Should be a good time.
And meanwhile, we also have Cassidy Moan finishing up with an official Australia time 1:22:38. GG's to Cassidy Moan, 15th place. Looks like Simon Miche now on the restream is going to be finished shortly. We got Papa Schmo in Lower Norfair.
All right, I'm gonna head out now. Thanks for commentating, Tracy and Kip, and also thanks for setting up this tournament. It's gonna be really exciting. I can't wait.
Yeah, no problem, Rossu.
Yeah,
And I
thanks,
guess I'll go ahead and get to say this too while you're here. I'm excited about Monday. For those of you that don't know,
Oh yeah,
Tracy's one of the
Oh, yeah.
organizers of the Randomizer League, and we're in Randomizer League Season 2 playoffs, and we're in the quarterfinals. And Rossu and I are going to be playing each other on Monday. I don't remember the start time, but it's like maybe 6 o'clock or 7 Eastern, something like that. So anyway, we're
I
going to
can
play
look that up.
until somebody wins. It's a best out of 3. But good luck, Rossu. I think it's going to be really fun to race you, man.
yeah. Good luck. I'm
Be careful,
kinda-
Kip. Rossu always wins.
Yeah, so I've heard.
And those races will start at 7 o'clock Eastern time. And yep, they're going to play all 3. So
Yeah, it'll be fun. I'm getting kind of worried about all these types of opponents that I've been playing recently. I've had to play Zost. Now I'm playing Kip. Now and then I'm playing Sloters. I'm kind of nervous now.
Hey, listen, man. All I gotta say is the bigger the name, the bigger the pelt. You know what I mean?
There
So
you
it's like
go.
you already took down Zost. Wouldn't it be awesome if you were like, hey, in 2019, I officially beat Zost, Sloters, and Kip all in randomizers get wrecked.
yeah, well, he won't beat Sloters in 2019. He'll have to do that in 2020.
Well, that's true. Yeah, you're right. You know what I mean.
And then now Zenny's in the scene. You know what I mean? Like,
I know, right?
I hope that I don't have to race Zenny either. So.
And
Oh,
Simon
but,
Miche finishing up in 16th place with a 1:24:26. GG to him.
Yeah, but have a good night, Rossu. Thanks for participating, man.
All right,
Yeah,
thanks for
a lot,
having me, and I'll see you guys later.
Also, Al, we'll let you have anything else you'd like to close with here.
No, that's all I have.
All right.
And
Al,
Al?
are you still here?
Yeah.
Anything else you'd like to add?
There's pizza waiting for me, and I needed a couple of minutes to eat it all.
Cool. Well, hey, I'm glad you got to participate. You're one of those players that I knew would be a really good fit for this tournament. Very experienced player, had a fantastic randomizer league season this year. And I was a little worried because I knew that you had y'all's event last week that kind of stopped you from participating. But I'm glad that you were able to participate today. And congratulations on qualifying.
Thank you. I just want to thank Zenny for getting me here.
Yeah, because those finishes right in that little area were pretty darn close.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna head out now. Thanks again, everyone.
Not y'all.
I'm also going to rewatch the stream.
All right, Al, have fun.
Thank you.
So real quick, as we're getting closer to the end of the stream here, I would like to point out a few things. I mentioned this earlier, but it bears repeating. Once again, a big thank you to Tracy and Dimensive for helping with this. It's putting on stuff like this takes a full team effort, so I appreciate you guys as well as the restreamers here with SpeedGaming and Feasel for helping me set this up. I also want to give a big shout out to Insane Firebat and Balthasar, because even though they're not actually doing any official work for Dash, without them, we wouldn't have been able to do the races today because of the SRL servers being down, and a lot of people that use LiveSplit, couldn't log in to get to the races. So Insane Firebat did me a huge favor in setting up a lot of the stuff from earlier today, and then Balthasar helped me tonight as well. So big thank you to them for helping me out.
Okay, looks like we're going to see one more person finish up here. Papa Schmo finishing it out for us. Looks like he's headed to Torian. Meanwhile, 64-bit Link showing us all the difficulty of fighting Fantoon as he practices that fight.
Yeah, sorry about that, Tracy. I was finishing up a few typing things on the spreadsheet there, but
No problem, Kip.
yeah. Oh, I'm an idiot. I was looking at Link's
Link
and I
is
wasn't paying attention to
practicing.
the practice ROM and took a death, and I was like, oh no, he's dead. But no, he's good to go.
Practicing everybody's favorite space ghost or whatever they call it.
Every time I see somebody die and then I look at the top and see all those numbers, I'm like, oh, okay, phew.
Yeah.
It's just a practice ROM.
But kind of neat that we're able to get some of these other runners in for just a little bit of restream, finishing off the night.
For sure. And I really appreciate every single person that participated in these, whether they raced once, all 4 times, no matter what, their finishing times were. Obviously, we're excited about the one-day tournament, but I was also just excited to do these qualifiers and have people race. So I really appreciate people, being willing to dedicate their time to doing it. So it's been fun. Papa Schmo moving in on the baby skip room. Although in randomizer you don't see as many baby skips. Some people don't necessarily work on the trick, but also on top of that, a lot of times you don't even have the equipment really to be able to pull it off.
Yeah,
So,
no high jump boots is a problem. So not having wave beam makes it more difficult. Not having speed booster makes it more difficult.
For sure, I've definitely not gotten the baby skip via either me messing up or just not having the items way more than I've gotten it in a randomizer situation. So it's always pretty hype when you do get it though in random. Papa Schmo filling back up on the regular missiles and the energy there. Unfortunately, it's hard for us to know exactly what item set everybody has when they, weren't on the full restream or weren't on the restream for the full duration. So I'm not exactly sure.
We can see his beam combination, although I'll assume he picked up charge, and he definitely has both suits because he does have the nice purple gravity suit, and he was in Lower Norfair, and the numbers were not ticking down. So
yeah, I was just kind of thinking about charge. I would assume.
Just because of the location, I can't imagine skipping that charge beam location when you don't already have charge. It's just...
Well, Al skipped it, didn't he?
Did he?
I'm pretty sure that's why Hero caught him, because Al was ahead.
Al had more shots to take. Okay, yeah, I think you may be right.
I could be wrong, but I believe so, because I think he was too far ahead of Hero to have Hero catch him. By that amount without doing the beam. So, and I get it. Like, that's literally the last item for him, right? The chances of it being charged, I can understand why somebody might choose to skip it. But personally, I would probably check. But, that's just.
Yeah, if this were a normal randomized and that was where my charge beam was, there's actually a better chance I would skip it because I would have been picking up ammo all along the way. Whereas here, you're like, well, I still have a charge beam. And with plasma, it's still pretty darn powerful.
That's true.
So in this case, it's like, well, but if it's charge beam, that just makes my beam that much more powerful. So, I'm probably going to check it in that situation.
Yeah, but it's looking most likely like, 20 shots here is going to do it. I would assume he's got it. So we got 4,
Yep.
5, 6, 7.
Let's see if the
8,
ketchup comes after 15.
9. Yeah, we're doing the Sesame Street count thing here. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. All right, so the next charge shot after this one should trigger the catch-up. Oh, yeah, he's definitely got full charge.
Yep.
And if he can get a couple more shots in here. Oh, he got trolled by the block there. That should do it right there.
Gonna play it safe, not going for stand-up.
Also want to say GG to Sign and Mache, who finished earlier in 16th place. Did you already mention that?
I tried to get everybody. I'm not sure I got everybody on the finishes, but I tried to get most. I know I got Sign and Mache and Cassidy Moen, who are
okay. Yeah, I want to
showing
thank
up on the
Cassidy
stream right
and
now.
Sign for racing too. I appreciate the fact that they did multiple races, so it was good to have them in. And I believe Papa Schmo is our final runner here. So
he is.
as soon as he is finished, we will be done. But anything else you want to add, Tracy, in terms of just the tournament? Like you're gonna have a huge role, obviously, that Saturday as one of the fellow organizers. You and I are going to be doing probably hours and hours of commentary.
That's going to be a full day of commentary. Just cross product and Sloters, if you're listening, please schedule your league match.
Oh, that's right.
Because I really want to make sure that's done before that day. But in all seriousness, it's been a lot of fun. It'll be a lot of. I love commentary. Just so much fun to talk about what these runners doing. And I'm going to assume I'm better at commentary than I am at playing, only because people say I'm good. So because I'm not that great a player, but I do like talking about it. So it's a lot of fun that I get to do that, and it'll be a great day to watch a whole lot of Super Metroid. And really cool that SpeedGaming is going to dedicate a day to us.
Yeah, for sure. I'm really excited about it. So just to give another sort of reiterate kind of the general flow of the day, it's going to be kind of hard to get it all set up, but the general flow of the day is this. We're not going to be able to show every single first round match. We're going to have to be very deliberate about which ones we select, but basically like half of the first round matches will be shown. There will be 8 matches. 4 of them will be restreamed. Unless SpeedGaming has other openings and we can get some more. But the basic plan is to get half of them restreamed, and then all of the quarterfinals will be restreamed. Half of them will be on the secondary SpeedGaming channel, or a second channel other than the main channel, and half of them will be on the main channel. And then after that, all semis and all finals will continue to be on SpeedGaming. So SpeedGaming, the mothership, if you will, it will have matches back to back to back to back all day long. And then there will be a few early round matchups that will be on a secondary channel as well.
All right, Papa Schmo in the escape.
Getting that last spark, that spark always feels good. I remember when I first started speedrunning Super Metroid, that was one of my favorite things to do. Because when you don't know anything about the game and then you learn about these shine sparks and you do that at the end, you're like, oh my God,
absolutely.
It's so much faster.
A funny story. I actually had a hard time getting that particular spark that Papa Schmo did. I had a terrible time getting that one. I was actually able to do the Behemoth spark long before I could do that one.
That's funny. But yeah, Papa Schmo gonna finish with an official SRL time up 1:38.03. Congratulations to him and appreciate him participating. So that's gonna do it for us here from the Dash staff. I appreciate everybody watching. Hope you guys had a good time. We'll post more information on the Discord and whatnot, and we'll keep everybody posted on the schedule. But those of you that are out there, if you want to get more information about Dash in general or try any seeds out, just type !Dash. I don't know if it exists in SpeedGaming too. Maybe it does. I know in SpeedGaming, the original channel. If you type !dash, you will definitely get it. Okay, so it's still there. You can find information about the tournament there. You can also find information about the randomizer in general, and you can also join the Discord from there. So appreciate it, and I will let you close this out, Tracy.
Well, in that case, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night, wherever you may be.